I'm going to show you a time lapse of this beautiful cloudscape sunset painting with bison. I'll tell you what brushes I used, I'll tell you what I thought about the brushes, I'll tell you the paints I used, and I'll tell you some of the techniques and methods that helped me. And I also hope to encourage you, because it wasn't very long ago that I could not paint clouds. They just looked like a bunch of gray mush. So I found the trick to doing realistic clouds is to do the wet on wet technique. You put clean water in the area that you're going to paint. Then you put your paints on top of the clean water. This allows it to blend smoothly. Now, you're going to want to add the lightest colors first. So in this case, it's the light yellows. And then you work your ways to the oranges and the pinks. And then you get to the purples. And you slowly build, letting each layer dry so that you don't have this muddy mess. My problem in the past was I was impatient. So instead of letting the first layers dry, I would just keep on working and working and working, thinking that I could just get the painting done faster. But the problem was, because I wasn't letting the paint dry, all the paints were mixing together and turning into mud. When I first started painting in watercolors, I thought having a palette of like over 100 colors was amazing because you got all this options. And then I quickly realized that actually it's a little bit intimidating to have so many colors, and which colors should I use? Today, I use only 4 colors: the cyan, yellow, magenta, and black. The same colors used in printers today. With these colors, you can practically make any color that you need. Instead of being intimidated by 100 options, I only have 4 options. I either have to put a little bit more yellow, or a little bit more cyan, or a little bit more magenta, or a little bit more black to get the color I want. If you want to learn from me, I have an online community. It's only $5 a month, and I share a lot of the tips and tricks that have helped me learn watercolors. Now, I am a big proponent of using high quality paper, and I am using 100% cotton paper that is very strong and very durable. It's more enjoyable, and I can layer and layer and layer without worrying about making any holes in the paper. Cheap paper doesn't help. It even makes some of your nice paints look not so great. I know that it's so tempting to buy that 100 pieces of watercolor paper that's so cheap, but if you don't enjoy using it and it discourages you from ever trying to paint again, it is not worth it. So I always encourage people, save up and get the nicer pieces of paper. You can always cut the pieces of paper into 4 smaller pieces to get the most out of it. And if you're just starting, don't be intimidated to use high quality paper. Use the backside of it too. So you can cut them up into smaller pieces and use the backside. It is totally worth it. When I was a kid, an art teacher told me avoid watercolors because they're just frustrating and you can't control them. So I avoided them for 30 years until I ran into an artist who said, if you can master watercolor, you can master anything. So I committed to learning watercolors for 1 year. And then I was planning to go back to oils and pastel pencils. But then I fell in love with watercolors, which I never thought I would. And so I love teaching watercolors. I want to shout out Famui, who sent me these needlepoint brushes. I love them. If you live in Tucson and would like to learn watercolors from me, join one of my watercolor workshops. And if you don't live in Tucson but you want to learn from me, you can join my online community on the school app. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next painting.